Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Social Podcast Club. Today, I'm with Sean Russell Herman here. He's a entrepreneur, a mindset, and movement coach, and he does a lot of things too. So I'm just gonna let him to go and introduce himself, and we can start with this conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I'm a father, husband, movement mindset coach, entrepreneur. I just love all things movement. I love pushing myself. I love being uncomfortable. I love creating. I love living with passion. So I just wrap all that into one big ball, and that's how I live my life.
Good. So, Sean, how would you describe what you do? Like, if someone asks you beyond the labels, how will you describe yourself?
It's a great question. I think outside the box, and I listen to what I need and what I want in my life, and then I just go out and build it. It's probably the best way to describe how I live.
That's good. So, like, you have something in mind, you make it happen.
Yeah, and that's how MUSSO started. Is I wanted a place that I could train my mind and my body the way that I wanted to, and I never saw or experienced a place that offered everything that we offer at MUSSO. So I wanted to build a place that I wanted to work at and train at. And then that just blossomed into me teaching my philosophy to other people.
That's great. So, what's something people usually get wrong when they first heard the word movement coach? When they heard that word,
They don't know what the hell it means. People are like, movement, what is that move? You like, do you do Tai Chi? Which is part of
it's
what we
part
do.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So most people don't understand the concept of movement training and training all different types of disciplines, because most people train one type of movement. So I get a lot of people that think I'm just a martial arts studio,
but you're more than
but
that.
way more than that. That's just a part of what we teach. So, I mean, it's not like that everywhere. There are a lot of places around the world that train how we train, but it's just few and far between.
So, where all this journey of movement begin with you? Like, was it through sports? Was like martial arts or something else?
I get bored really easily. And which as a kid, I was always training and trying different types of sports to try to figure out what I really liked. And I loved surfing and skateboarding, and ice hockey was a huge part of my life. And then I got bored of ice hockey. So then that shifted into a surfing career. And I spent, my late teens and early 20s traveling and surfing. And then I got bored of that. But during that time, I was doing martial arts. So then after surfing, I got heavily more into martial arts, which was a huge part of my life. And then during that time, I started filmmaking. So I just always found that I would find something, I'd become obsessed with it, and then I would get bored of it.
I can relate with that. I'm
Yeah.
the same way. I tried different stuff in my life. I've done mostly on the creative side. Like, I tried to start making videos a few years ago, but then I got obsessed. I learned like all the technical stuff, and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it, but I wanted to, like, I guess, create this space that I just create, like this podcast, because I always like it talking with people. And I thought that through creating those videos I would create a community, but I wasn't being authentic. Like, I wasn't being myself. I was just trying to do whatever that could make me go viral or whatever.
Right.
And then I realized this is not who I am. I'm just like a curious person that is always been or feel like a kid inside, and I just want to find people to ask them questions, talk with them, and like see the world through their eyes. And then I just, like, I'm just gonna take my time, build my little space, and then I'm just gonna start doing something that I really connect with. And that's how this social podcast club became this thing now.
That's how it blossomed. Yeah, I think that's important, is why do we do things? And most people, I think, they find themselves doing it for the wrong reasons, but it takes a little time to realize that. So I think it's important to understand why you're doing a certain discipline and putting all this time into it. What's the end goal? What's the short-term goals? And but I think that that's why we get bored of it. You know, like for ice hockey, for me, I loved ice hockey. It was a huge part of my life. But also, my parents loved ice hockey and they wanted me to be a successful ice hockey player. So, how much of it was I really enjoying it for myself or trying to make my family proud?
Yeah,
And then
some
I got to a point where it's like, okay, well, I'm not doing it for myself anymore. And then you move on to the next thing and the next thing. And
yeah, it's hard. Sometimes we just start doing something because we think that's what we really want, but then we realize that we're just being influenced by other people, either
Mhm.
it's family, friends, or society in general, to like pursue something just because maybe they make it look good for you through either social media or TV, or they just like make you think that this life is what you want, and then like maybe you do everything and you achieve it, and then you realize I feel empty still. So it's like getting to that mindset of like questioning yourself and like asking what I would do, what I do, and what I want to do really, and then trying to figure out. And it could take time. It could take your whole life even sometimes. But I think it's important to get into that mindset on my sorry, that mindset of what I'm doing, what I do, and if it's real, is real the thing I want to do it forever, or it's just something I just got influenced for do for a few years and now I'm like lost. So what does Musu mean? Where that word came from?
Musso?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I created Musso, I wanted to create a movement program that represented my family. I just had my son, my wife's Japanese, and I wanted to create something that represented him as a person, the American side and the Japanese lifestyle that we integrate a lot into our daily lives. So, Muso is a Japanese word and it means beast mode, warrior movements. And it also means letting go of things you can't control, flow of water. Just depends on how you spell it. It changes the meaning.
Cool.
And, you know, the Japanese, they use three different alphabets. So it depends if you use one alphabet, it changes the meaning of it. So yeah, but all the meanings, um, they really represent what I teach of letting go, moving like water, fluidity, but also being a warrior. You know, like in this world, at least, I mean, everyone's life is different, but I've had to have two sides of me growing up. I've had to had a side where I'm a warrior and I'm a savage, and then a side of compassion and love and sensitivity. And I think it's important for everyone to have both sides. That way, you're someone who's capable of being a warrior and being strong and being confident, but you choose to be peaceful. So for me, the idea of Muso is very much of that. You're training both the masculine and feminine side of who you are as a person.
I love that. I love that. I think it's like, would you say it's like a finding a balance between stillness and movement? Maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. That's a great way of putting it. But yeah, definitely.
That's good. So you often talk about finding strength in the body and mind. For you, how are those connected? Like for you, in like body and mind, how they connect
Hmm.
for you in your life?
They both they one precedes the other. It goes back and forth. But if this isn't right up here, if you're not thinking correctly, if you're not thinking with confidence, if you're not positive, if you're not sure who you are and what you're doing, the body's going to respond to that as well. It's going to freeze up. You're going to get injured. You're going to be stiff. You're going to be slow. So there has to be this beautiful relationship where there's confidence in the mind so the body can move confidently. And if the body's moving confidently, the mind's going to be confident. They both have to be working at the top grade all the time if you want to be the most successful version of yourself.
Yeah, I seen that on I feel that when I'm climbing, for example.
Hmm.
Sometimes I like in my mind I'm like, no, I'm not capable of doing this. And then my friends say like just try, or like maybe try it this way. and then I just start telling myself I can do it, and then like I try the move again, and then I got to the part where I was uh, thinking that I wasn't able to do it, and
Mhm.
then I realized it was just my mind, like just uh, freezing me to like just don't do it, when I was like actually my body was ready to do it, but my mind was just like, no, you're not capable, and just changing the mindset of, you know what, I'm just gonna try and I think I can do it, and then achieving it is realizing, oh yeah, I just need to be more confident in my mind because my body is ready for it, for this challenge, but my mind gotta accept that the body is ready. So it's like trying to uh, make that connection between body and mind more present, and realizing that your body and your mind are capable of so many amazing things in life. Humans.
Absolutely. If you start off saying, "Oh, I definitely can't do that," then you're definitely not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, like I think that's another thing, like your words matters, like
Absolutely. That's why I tell like, if I teach someone something, I tell them my mindset in all of life is, "Oh, yeah, I can do that," until I can't. I think that I can do anything that I want, and then I have to prove to myself that I can't do it.
yeah, it's gonna be hard. I mean, it's not like that. Just like you just change your mind. Yeah, I can do it, and then it's gonna happen. You have to put effort towards that thing. But I think just having that mindset of like accepting that you as a human are capable of doing amazing things is a really important thing in our life. No matter how old you are, how young you are, we are capable of achieving big things in life. We just have to put that confidence in our mind and let our body guide the way. And
Mhm.
I think it's important to have that mindset.
Absolutely.
So for you, what role did martial arts play in shaping your character and discipline?
For me, I didn't want to get my ass kicked all the time. That was a big thing. So I wanted to learn just how to defend myself. And then as I kept training, as I got older, it became more and more serious, where it wasn't just a self defense thing anymore. It was teaching people or competing. And then that's when it started branching more into the mindset and the lifestyle of a martial artist for me, where it wasn't just something that I did or a skill to learn to help me with life. It became my life. The martial arts lifestyle is how I live my life. Um, so it's just it's a lifestyle of respecting yourself, and then when you can respect yourself, you can respect other people, and the confidence that it brings that you can handle yourself in most situations brings peace. The most peaceful people that I know are the most dangerous people that I know.
Yeah, like I bet you know Mikey Musumeci, I think
Hmm.
is his last name. Like if you see that guy and you don't know his background and you see him in like walking down the street, you think like I could like kick this kid ass, and then like no,
Yeah.
this he looks so peaceful, but he's one of the most dangerous guys in the world. He could just break you easily, and it's amazing. Yeah, I relate with that. A lot of people that I know that are into martial arts, or like they know some kind of like self defense um, techniques, they really peaceful because I think how you say, it brings you peace knowing that you can handle yourself and that you can control your body and your mind, so that you don't need to be reactive to anything in life, because it brings you peace knowing that you can control situations and that you can keep your mind in a flow state and a like relaxed state, no matter how tough is the situation. Whereas like other people that maybe don't have this knowledge or this kind of like backgrounds on jiu-jitsu or other kind of like martial arts are more like easily triggered for anything that doesn't go as they want. And I like how you put it. Like I think it becomes your lifestyle when you get into martial arts. It teaches you a lot of disciplines, and I've been thinking for a while I want to get into it because I think I'm lacking some discipline in my life, and it will be a good thing to put myself on a situation and a challenge that is going to teach me in the long run how to control myself, how to defend myself, and also how to be in control of my mind, no matter how hard the situations are.
It gives you choices. It gives you the ability to be able to choose how to react to something, how to dismantle something. Um, and when you have choices in life, it's easy to be peaceful.
So now I would like to talk a little bit about your entrepreneur side. So you are a gym owner and also a coffee shop owner.
Hmm.
So you create something unique. You one day decide, I have this gym, I have this building, but I want to turn this space into a coffee shop too. Where that idea came from?
So I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always had little businesses, and I've had businesses that have failed in the past. I was in film for a long time, and I would say I was very successful in some ways and failed a lot in a lot of ways. And so I've always had the entrepreneur spirit of I I want something in my life, and if I can't find it, I just make it myself. So it's very everything that I do is very authentic to who I am, which is also a gift and a curse. But so when I started Musso, I had a big building, started a new concept, didn't know how the public was going to take it, if people would like it, if they liked what I was doing, if they understood what I was teaching. And over time, I found my flow with the program. I understood who it worked for, who it didn't work for. I just understood the business more behind it, which then was I was I had the mental capability of then moving on to the next business, which was I've always wanted a coffee shop. Coffee's always been a huge part of my life. I've been drinking coffee since I was a kid,
Same.
and it's coffee to me is so nostalgic, and it just reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of traveling for surfing and having coffee in someone's little hut in Nicaragua or in Costa Rica, and it's just it brings back a lot of good memories for me. So coffee's always been a safe place for me. I don't drink anymore, so coffee's like kind of my thing. So what I was finding is I was teaching all day and I would get an hour free every once in a while. So I'd go to a coffee shop and get a cup of coffee. And then one day I was just like, man, it'd be so nice if the coffee was just right
Right
here
here.
and I could just walk out through those doors and have a coffee shop. And then I liked the environment of a good coffee shop. And I hate the environment of a bad coffee shop. And another thing that I've started to realize, and I think this like just kind of escalated after COVID, but not many people are self-aware of how they affect the community they're in. So I'd go to these coffee shops and people would be loud. They would be having video calls with no headphones on. They'd be making phone calls inside. They weren't picking up after themselves. Their feet are up on the table. Their kids are running around breaking things. It's like this lack of of awareness and respect for the business owner, the people sitting next to you. It just I that irks me a little bit. So I wanted to bring it back where I wanted to create a coffee shop that is about respect. It's about respecting your neighbor. It's about respecting the business owner, the employees. It's about respecting yourself. And I don't know, just kind of having a message of this is a safe, positive, clean place for you to sit down, have a cup of coffee, talk with your friend, journal, read a book, do a little bit of work if you need, eat healthy. Everything we have there is healthy, homemade. I don't serve any processed sugars or chemicals. And, so it's a business that represents how I live my life and what I think is important. And either it's for you or it's not. But doesn't bother me if you don't like it.
I love that. And how was that process of having the idea of, like, I have this building where I have my gym, but I'm lacking of like this coffee shop that I want. What I don't build it myself. How was that process of, I'm gonna start doing it without knowing how to like start a coffee shop? Like, that's the thing. The cool thing about entrepreneurs is like, one of the main things that defines an entrepreneur is someone that creates something that wasn't there before without even having the idea of how to do it. So I want to ask you, like, why woods, plants, and natural elements? Because your coffee shop has like a lot of plants and everything's wood. I mean, the name is Sawdust. Um, what were you trying to make people feel when they were talking about Sawdust?
I wanted them to feel like they were sitting outside. I wanted it to feel like you're sitting outside on a fall day, you're in the woods, or you're at the beach and you're hanging out having a cup of coffee with your friend. For me, I grew up in a carpenter family, so I grew up around construction. And woodworking to me is another form of self expression and art. So I built everything there and I just designed it myself. And then the plants, it's just, there's nothing better than being around like just fresh earth,
Yeah.
like the air in there is clean. It's alive. And I'm a big believer in energy and the energy of places and people. So having all those earth tones and natural elements, it keeps the energy really calm in there. It keeps it really purified.
Yeah, a lot of people like has like, no, I need to get like a air purifier for my house, and they
Right.
spend 500,
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 on like a little thing that's supposed to clean your air. Where like the most natural thing you can do is just have plants
Get some
inside your house.
yeah, get some
They,
plants.
yeah, they're gonna clean your air, and it's gonna be the most fresh air you're gonna ever find.
Yeah, totally.
How does community tie both movement and saddles together? How you think people in your community balance the gym life with the coffee area you have now?
Yeah, the training and then getting coffee to me has always been part of the program for me personally. The training is dealing with the physical movements and the mental side of it, and then the coffee is always the philosophy side where you can relax, philosophize, talk about life, talk about plans, talk about business, talk about goals and aspirations. It's part of it all. It's all around the same mindset. So, yeah, to me it's just a lifestyle. Training and drinking coffee. That's pretty much all I do every day. So, put it in the one spot and it makes it a lot easier for me.
Yeah, I bet people love it. I mean, it's just been open a few months, and I hear a lot of people talking about like how they feel inside there. I have a few friends that visited,
Mm.
and they like it. Like they told me, yeah, I love how they have plants inside. My wife love it. Like she said, like every Sunday when we're off, like please let's go to Saddles. I need to just
Awesome.
disconnect for a moment and just relax. And I love that also you sell these plants that you have there, and like people can get like a discount of the coffee. That's a good way of like uh, offering the plants and the coffee, so to promote your business. And the fact that you have a bunch of books and really good books about mindset and like creativity, movement, everything there, I think is really cool. Um, so what have you learned about leadership building all this business since you start and these places that bring people together?
With the coffee shop or Musso as well,
Well, I mean,
or
I
just in
will say
life?
both, like how, like, because you also like when you start like you Musou movement, you were building a community, and that needs a leader in front to create like a safe environment for people feel like safe and protect. So what have you learned about leadership since then?
So I've always just found myself in leadership positions. Like with ice hockey, I was always the captain of the team or assistant captain or um so I've always liked leading people. I've always liked taking care of people and sparking passion and joy and excitement. But with the businesses, I'm good at that because that's just authentically who I am. Over time, as I've gotten older, and I think when I had my son, this is what really changed about me is letting go a little bit and letting people do their job and letting people just be who they are. And either I allow that and I like that, or it's just not the right fit. But I can't micromanage everything, and I just need to step back and relax a little bit. And if you don't have the right employees or the right community or the right people involved, it is not going to work out.
Mm-mm.
You can try to sit back and relax and let people do it, but they're also representing your business, and if they don't have the same moral code or standards as you, it's never going to work out.
Yeah, because they representing you, and like you say, if they not connect with your lifestyle or your idea of like how it's running your business, especially, they won't do a good job.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
you got to let them go.
So we're gonna take a little break of 1 minute, and we're gonna continue with this amazing conversation with Sean. We're back. Let's keep rolling with this conversation. Now I would like to talk about a little bit of mindset and like mental strength and flow. So you teach movement, right? So what mental lessons come from it?
A lot, a lot of lessons, but rewiring the brain is a big thing of how you talk to yourself, how you handle stress. Can you stay calm when your brain is chaotic? It's all about rewiring how you process information and how you react to it. And that's one of the most difficult things, but you really I look at it like the brain's a computer and it's constantly downloading applications. And you have to delete old applications to keep moving forward. But you should consistently keep downloading new applications as you get older and wiser in life. Most people will download one application and they live off that for the rest of their life. And I see it all the time. And it's all just on how you process a setback and how you process not being able to do something for the first time. It's the beginner mindset. If you think about it, when we're kids, we pick up things so fast. Our brain is a sponge and we're just soaking everything up. But as we become adults, we don't like feeling stupid. We don't like doing things that we're not really good at. So what does that do? You just start rejecting new information and new skill sets. But if you can keep a beginner's mindset all the time, there's so many things to learn in life. And there's so many ways to get better and better and better and better. With like what you're doing as a filmmaker, you should always be pushing yourself to do new types of content, new films, getting new equipment, trying new applications, just going more. Never be comfortable. You should always be a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think that, how you say, when we're kids we pick up everything so fast, but then once like we became adults, we don't want to feel stupid. And I think one part of like becoming wise in life is just realizing that it's good to be a beginner and like new things. Like it's good to try new things even if you don't feel comfortable at first, because that's how you keep growing. And I think there's so many things in life to learn, and I will say there's not enough life to learn all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like be selective of the things you want to learn, but never stop learning. It's important. I think people feel afraid of changing their mind sometimes. Like, I've been raised like this way, I don't want to change, or like I don't think I'm the the person that is causing the problems in my life, when like they really doing it because they just like stuck with some kind of mindset that are just keeping them like in that place. And then when they finally get out of that mental trap and start like finding new ways of training, or like they quit their job that they've been doing for 25 years to pursue like a passion, and they feel free for the first time in their life, is amazing. Like finding that you can be so many different persons throughout your whole life. I think is one thing we need to accept, that if we want to keep growing, we have to be willing to change and to keep like evolving, just putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. Like, for example, I didn't want to start this project because my accent, that was one of the things that was like keeping me away of like starting this project. It was like, well, I know English, but sometimes I'm like messed up or whatever. And my wife was like, you know what, just go. Like that's what makes you unique. And I was like,
She's absolutely right. That's what makes you you.
yeah, like that's you. Like that's the most authentic thing you can do is just like do it. If you want to do it in English, do it. No matter like your accent, whatever. People that really want to consume something authentic, they're gonna connect with you. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And then I just start like booking people to like have a conversation, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this process of like sitting with people that has different experience in life, learning from them, and also putting myself in situations where like I don't know how to edit this, and then I have to sit for a few hours, and I ended up learning a bunch of new stuff. And like my process of editing last week was like so long to get subtitles in Spanish for these videos, and now it's so easy because I found a way of doing it the most like effective way for me now. And it's just like so it feels so good to like find new things and like learn, because it just means that I'm growing, and I just like take it from there, and I love it. So when people walk into your gym, what are they looking for? Are they looking for fitness, or they approach you trying to find something more deeper in themselves?
People come in for all different reasons, but I don't, and I'm not saying this to be arrogant whatsoever, but I don't allow everybody to come in and train. If someone wants to try a class out, I meet with them first to make sure that they understand my philosophy behind it, what's important, what we do, what we don't do, because it's not a fitness gym, it's not CrossFit, it's not Olympic weightlifting. I'm more interested in people that want to learn how their bodies work and how to strengthen their mind. And I want people who want to learn all the different disciplines. I don't want someone who only wants to go there to learn Muay Thai and boxing. I want someone who wants to learn Muay Thai boxing, capoeira, functional mobility, gymnastics, someone who wants to learn how to do contemporary dance, someone who's interested in the breathwork and the meditation. I want someone who's interested in the whole program. As long as they understand that it's a holistic idea on what I think movement should look like, then I'm cool with it. But everyone's different on why they're there. I do get a lot of people that are there because they're injured and their PT's not working. And they're looking, and it started with a lot of my private clients started with people that had really bad injuries for, not really bad, but reoccurring injuries for 20 years, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with them. Chiropractor didn't help, surgery didn't help, doctors weren't helping, and then they came to me, and I healed them in 2 to 3 months. And this is people that have had problems for 2 decades.
Wow.
That's how my private list started really exploding. Is people were like, hey, he told me about this, and I have a shoulder problem, and I've had a wrist problem, and my knees are this, and my back's this, and hips are like, and that's how it really started growing. And then what I was finding was most of the people that really enjoyed my philosophy were entrepreneurs, because they're there to be uncomfortable, and they're there for this, the mind. The physical attributes is just a consequence of the program itself. You're going to get really strong. It's going to create a very strong, dense, symmetrical body. But the mindset is the big thing. And the entrepreneurs and the creatives are the people that have really, I'd say 95% of the people that train there are entrepreneurs or creatives or both.
That's wow. That's nice. Like that people is looking other ways to heal, and that you providing them with that is like a really valuable thing to have. Like you should be proud of that, because like you say, like people that go to your gym that were like struggling with pain or different situations in their bodies for so long, and being able to find a place where like they're not gonna tell you like you have to drink this medicine or this or that. just like through your own movement and your mindset, you can heal your body. It maybe sounds weird for some people that maybe they don't believe too much in energy or like this kind of like philosophies, but I am one of those that really believe that our mind has so much power to heal us. And it's cool to know that now we have a place in here in Greenville that is offering that opportunity for people that has been struggling with their bodies for a long time. So that's really great, honestly. So through your through these years of like teaching people how to move and yourself putting effort into creating this community, what have you learned about ego and from the martial arts or training others?
Ego's healthy and it's unhealthy. I think it's like most things in life, it's the balance of it. You need to have ego to think you can do things, to think that if you want to open up a business, why you? Why is your coffee shop gonna be better than the person across the street? I think ego can be very healthy, but you have to keep it in check. When the ego starts getting in the way of you growing, then you need to figure out what's going on. But you also need to be confident. And it's funny, I make my private clients, we have a 3 adjective mantra that I make everybody come up with, of 3 adjectives that describe exactly who they want to be. And all of them say confident. One of them is always confident. Confidence is it's the secret key to get things done in life. And not just confidence of, yeah, I'm a confident person, I can do this. No, you need to be so confident that even when things are bad and it's a dark time for you, you still know that you can do it and that you can move forward. You still know that you have that grit inside you. Confidence can be mistaken with ego, but you need to have that grit inside you to get things done, especially in the world that we live in today. Healthy ego, it's, you see all these people talk about how ego's the cause of this and that. No, you need to have it, man. You need to have a little bit of ego to get somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people have the concept of like ego is the enemy. Like there's like a book called like that by Ryan Holiday, and I read it, but I was like, he talked about the idea of like, yeah, ego could be the enemy, but also could be like a good ally to
Mm-hmm.
have in your life, because knowing like just ego in the way of confidence is good enough to have it in your life, because it just reminds you that you are capable of things when you look back and you see all the things you did. Just having that, let's call it a healthy ego, that you are capable of achieving things when you like you pursue something or you put effort towards something. But the problem is when like we let the ego get in the middle of our connection with others, like you said, like thinking that I'm better or I'm gonna be better than this person that is doing the same thing I'm doing. That's when I guess the ego can become a problem. So like I guess finding a way of balance that good ego and the bad ego. So just walk in the middle of it and use it for the good reasons and not just to pretend that you are better than other people. That's important. So how do you how do you personally well, let me just rephrase that. How do you reset your life when everything is chaotic? What practice you do when like when life feels that it's chaos?
Breath work, routine. I start every single day with breath work. And then, I'll do it a few times a day if I'm off, but diet, nutrition, what's going on in your stomach is the most important. What you put into your body, what's going on in your gut will change the way that you think. So, if things are chaotic and I can't handle it, it's probably because I've done something to myself. Like I ate a shitty meal the day before, and I didn't move. I didn't do my breath work. I didn't journal. I didn't read. I didn't spend any time meditating. I'm thinking negative. There's if I live my life the way that I live my life with the tools that I know, my life rarely feels chaotic to me. And that doesn't mean my life's not chaotic, because there are times where my life is absolutely chaotic, but I can handle it.
Yeah, I guess yeah, all that's important. Like routine matters, diet matters, and what you do to your body, like what you put in your body really matters, because I notice when I eat bad for a few days, I don't have the same mental energy to do things, and I feel unmotivated sometimes, and I just, at least
See, that's funny, and I don't mean to break you. I don't mean
no,
to
you
cut you
good.
off. I've had so many people come to me lately about, how do you have motivation? How do you I always have motivation. Motivation is never an issue with me, because there's a big it's the bigger vision I have in life. I think that's what's important, is you should have a life goal, what you want your life to look like. It should be the umbrella over everything that you do is for up here. And then the day-to-day motivation could maybe fade away if you're motivated to, I don't know, learn how to do a flip. And maybe one day you just don't feel like doing the flip and you've lost motivation for it. But why did you want to do that flip? Because you wanted to become more mobile. You wanted to be stronger. You wanted to learn a new movement. That's the overarching of everything. There's levels to it. So it's important to have a big goal and what you want in life. And every day you need to be moving towards that goal. You can lose motivation in the little things, but as long as you have an overarching goal, you'll never lose motivation. And it needs to be an honest, like you really need to sit down and you need to go, who the hell do I want to be in my life? What do I want out of all this? And you really need to live that lifestyle, and you'll never lose motivation.
I love it.
Like seriously, it's like most people, they have no idea what the hell they want in life. I want to buy a house. That's not a life goal. That's a materialistic thing. Who the hell do you
Wanna
want to
be.
be? And you really need to figure that out. And when you figure that out, you're not going to feel lost. You're going to go, okay, that's who I want to be. These are the steps that I need to get there. And then these little tiny days of lack of motivation, they're just going to come and go less and less and less and less and less. But I see that a lot with people, especially recently. People have been asking me, I want to start this business, but I don't have motivation. Well, then you shouldn't start the business, because if you don't have the motivation to do it, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, if the business idea you have isn't motivating yourself enough already,
Right.
like, and you're telling me you don't have motivation, that means that thing is not really what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not sunny every day, man. There are a lot of dark days, there are a lot of rainy days, and there needs to be a reason why you still get up and do it every day.
Yeah, like you say, having, I love that metaphor of like having the umbrella, like everything you do is because of this, because I see it like that sometimes when like I have this goal, I want to be this person in life. I've never been like a materialistic person that much. I just, like, I will say, I just want to live a peaceful life. I just want to be a kind person. I just want to learn through my whole life. I don't want to stop learning, never. I want to just keep growing and just be healthy, just have good enough, like enough money to just cover the things that I need to cover. Just I have, so that way I have time to do the things that I'm really passionate about. That in this point of my life is just creating this project where I can bring the most interesting people and people I feel like I could learn from them and sit and have a conversation. And if I have to work a side job for 5 years till the project became its own thing, and I can live out of it, it really doesn't matter for me. I don't feel unmotivated to get up tomorrow like and go to work and do my job. So because that's gonna pay the bills, and it's still gonna give me the free time I need to pursue my passion. So I feel motivated to just get up every day and just keep learning, doing the things I'm doing, because I know every little step I'm taking now is towards this goal that I have. So I don't need that motivation of like, oh, I need to see this amount of money in my bank account right now, or the recognition of people, because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to feel confident of what I'm doing and feel free of pursue my passion without anybody questioning why I'm doing it, because I don't need to give anybody explanation of what I'm doing it if I already know that that's the thing I want to do. So I really relate with that. I like that you intervene with that point of view, because that's another metaphor now that I have to see life like through that umbrella. So I like that. So do you believe that every person has access to flow, or do we have to earn it?
Mm, both. I think, especially now, it's a lot more difficult to find a flow state and fluidity in life because there's so many distractions. So you need to make the decision on what that looks like. I'll give you an example. This is my phone. I have a flip phone.
Love it.
Okay. You can only call or text me. I've got no social media on here, no GPS, nothing, no YouTube. If you want to reach me, this is what you have to call. Other than this, nothing else is on me right now.
Love it.
It gets rid of all the distractions because I got to a point in my life where I had way too many people calling, texting, sending me videos, sending links, just reaching out all the time. It was getting in the way of what I needed to focus on and being present. So I made the decision, I'm getting rid of a smartphone. If you want to call me, you want to talk to me, give me a call, say hi. But that's it. And I gain time back and distractions. So nowadays, you have to earn that relationship of the mind-body connection to even get into a flow state. You really need to be purposeful on, okay, this is the only thing that matters right now, being present. Because you can't find fluidity and flow if you're not present with what you're doing. And you have to choose that time, you have to choose that place, and you need to understand why you want to be doing that. Everyone can do it, but you got to choose to do it.
Yeah, finding the focus on your
Yeah.
life and the things that matter for you. Yeah.
Consistency and focus. The more consistent you are with the routine, the easier it'll be.
There's so many distractions nowadays. I was listening to a podcast this like a few days ago, and they were talking about like this is not a cell phone anymore. I mean, when you use it to call someone, you just use it for like send links, to send like videos, to just like share images. But when you really like send a message or like call that often, as like people used to do it with cell phone, like with regular cell phones, and it's true, like the smartphones are not like cell phone anymore. It's just like a device to get you distracted and away of the things that really matter in your life, and still your focus. And we have now so much information on how cell phones and social media and all these distractions are like literally burning your brain slowly, and it's just like losing cognitive conditions, because like people cannot focus on a video that maybe could teach them something, but if in the first 3 seconds you don't say something to get their attention, you lost them. How dumb is that? Like,
Yeah.
it's
And it
crazy.
shows like in a lot of the movies that are being made now, and a lot of the art, it's dumbed down.
It's hard to find like a good movie nowadays.
Mhm.
Like, it's hard to find like a movie that really like get your attention and you really connect, and it really communicates some kind of emotion. Everything's so like vague, and like it's like empty inside. They just try to put like big actors and like names in it, but then when the drama and like the script, you like see it through the visuals, it's like it's not connecting with me. It's not like communicating nothing to me.
Yeah.
It's hard. So we're gonna take one last break, and the next when we come back from the break, we're just gonna have we're gonna talk a little bit about the practical takeaways and just finish the episode because I know you have to go and you're a busy person. So we're coming back in 2 seconds. Okay, we're back. We're just gonna make this quick. I wanna ask you, for some people listening who feels disconnected from their body, what should they start? Where should they start?
I think everyone's different on why they feel disconnected, but I'd say the easiest way to start is to find a movement discipline that you like and start consistently doing that and then branch from there. But find one thing that, and it, don't do it because you feel like you have to, do it because you want to do it. Find something that's really fun and then just be consistent with that. And then that will start branching off into all other aspects. But yeah, you just need to start moving first. And again, do something that you like. It doesn't have to be suffering through it all the time.
So, what? How can people practice awareness or discipline in small doses without overthinking?
Breath work.
Meditation.
Yeah, meditation. Give yourself a minute. Start with a minute, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Find a time where you put your phone away, you shut your laptop off, and you just sit down with no distractions and try to stay present. Focus on your breath for a minute. And then over time, your body and mind's a beautiful instrument. It'll adapt to anything that you do, but you have to be consistent with it. You need to rewire, download the new application, delete the rest, and your body will do whatever you want it to do. But you just have to be consistent.
Yeah, I think like it's like you say, we need to find moments of peace throughout all this crazy world we live nowadays and all the distractions, and just have a moment to sit down 5, 10 minutes away of everything, just in silence with our thoughts. And also, I guess, understanding that you're not all your thoughts. Like sometimes we connect so much with our thoughts that we became the thoughts, when we're in reality we are not the thoughts. We are just like the instrument where like the thoughts come through, and we have to take the decision if we're really gonna engage with this, like, because sometimes we have bad thoughts and we engage more with that than the positive ones. So like having a moment to just breathe and find peace in your day, it will make a lot of difference for people, I think. If you could leave people with one message about movement or life, what will it be?
Take control of your life.
Love it.
If you put the focus into yourself, you can do amazing things in this world. But you need to be able to put the effort and the consistency and the focus into it.
Yeah.
I would sit down at a table if someone's lost. Sit down at a table, write down what you want with your life and what you're doing to get towards that. And then write down the things you need to get rid of to get towards that. But you need a plan. Everybody should have a goal and a plan. And that will explain the whys. And I think a lot of people have a hard time with life because they don't know why they're doing things.
Love it. So one last thing, what is next for Musu and for Sawdust and for Sean as a human?
I miss the ocean big time. I'm used to surfing twice a day. And obviously, where we are now is a beautiful, awesome little city up in the mountains, but I miss the ocean. So now I'm looking at opening up another studio somewhere right on the coast that can also act as a retreat center as well. So I can do workshops and retreats, but being connected more with the ocean. So doing exactly what I'm doing here and then opening up another location right on the coast somewhere.
Well, good luck with that. I wish you the best. I want to say thank you again for coming and having this conversation with me. I know for a lot of us, time is one of the most valuable things because once it's gone, it's gone. So I really appreciate that you spent 1 hour here sitting with me and talking about your experience, about your life, I've been learning a lot, and when I'm editing, I'm gonna probably have my little notebook next to it just to write some stuff down to just uh, keep those things in mind and use it for my daily life. So thank you, Sean, for coming. If you want, if you have some one last words to say, just go ahead.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time on another episode. Remember to comment down below, like the video, subscribe, and see you on the next conversation. Thank you.